Welcome to Sex Ed with DB. I'm your host, Danielle Bezalel. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the podcast. If you love and support the work that we do, join my crew on Patreon to win amazing prizes like our adorable merch, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, private sessions with yours truly, and incredible sex toys. Go to patreon.com/sexedwithdb to join my crew. Get discounts at all of my favorite brands at sexedwithdb.com. And follow us on Instagram at sexedwithdb podcast and on TikTok at sexedwithdb. If you want to partner with us, email us at sexedwithdb@gmail.com. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope everyone had a wonderful week. Things are pretty good. I'm just a little tired this week. I hope if you're a little tired that you join me in getting the rest and the relaxation that we need to get back to our 100%. I have been running and exercising a little bit more, which has been helpful in my energy overall. But I've also been drinking a little bit of alcohol. So I think that is contributing to me being a little bit tired. So if that relates, if you're down to clown with me and, maybe drink a little less and rest a little more, join me this weekend in doing so. So why does it hurt when I have sex? That's the question that we're answering this week. I really appreciate the writer of this question for writing in. I obviously recognize that talking about pain during intercourse is really a vulnerable thing, considering we don't really talk about it all that often. And while it is a common experience for some folks, it definitely isn't a normal or typical experience or what we should be experiencing. And so that being said, I really want to get into a couple of things here because it's a pretty layered answer here. It's not very straightforward. And so first things first, I just want to say I'm so sorry that you're experiencing pain during sex. That really, really, really sucks. And sex should feel good for you. And so my complete answer, that I'm going to read is assuming that the pain that you're experiencing is during consensual sex. And so I just want to say, if you're having sex that you are not consenting to, please know that it's not your fault. And I'll put some resources in the show notes to help you do a little bit more research about that, or think a bit about that, or get the help that you need. Now, in terms of pain that might be happening during consensual sex, there can be many reasons why you may be feeling this kind of pain. And so the best thing to really do is to make an appointment with your healthcare provider or your doctor to let them know what's going on. If you are able to keep a diary or a journal explaining, when this is happening, how severe it is, what acts are you doing that cause pain, the doctor or medical professional will hopefully be able to get you the best, most tailored medical care for your specific experience. And so here's a list, though, of potential things that could be happening to cause pain during sex. First and foremost, there could just not be enough lubrication. And so lube is just an amazing tool and product that makes sex more pleasurable for most people. And just a reminder, don't use oil-based lube with a condom because the condom could break and that would defeat the whole purpose of using it. And as always, I recommend Uberlube. They are one of our sponsors, but they also are doctor recommended. My mom, an OBGYN, hands out Uberlube samples at her office. They are a very fantastic brand, and I really think that their product is superb. So highly recommend that if you want to try a lube. Another reason why you could be experiencing painful sex, you could have an infection or an STI. And so again, make an appointment with your doctor when you can to really talk about your symptoms to get the care that you need, because it's really challenging you don't want to be self-diagnosing essentially yourself when it comes to having an infection or something that might need medication or cream or just a professional person's opinion. Another reason why you might be experiencing painful sex is you could have a condition like endometriosis or vaginismus or dyspareunia. Sometimes it's really hard to diagnose folks with these conditions, which really fucking sucks. But we're going to put a link in the show notes to a helpful Mayo Clinic article where you can read more about these conditions. Another reason you might be experiencing painful sex, you may be experiencing some emotional pain, such as stress, PTSD, anxiety, depression, or other psychological issues. And we don't really talk about this. We did talk about it a little if you listen to our Desire and Pleasure episode with Whitney Miller, but the body and the mind are so connected. And if you're experiencing psychological stress or pain, it could absolutely be causing pain during sex. If we're feeling like we're not really able to get out of our heads, or if we're thinking about something that's really overwhelming for us, it absolutely could be impacting physical pain that you might be feeling. And lastly, it could be none of the things that I said, and it could be something else. And so the only way to find that out is by listening to your body, making an appointment with a healthcare professional, and just trying your best through writing down when you're experiencing what you're experiencing and how severe it is, to really reflect on the way to figure out the issue. And while you're trying to figure out what could be causing your pain, just know that you're not alone. I talk about this in a couple Uberlube advertisements, but I definitely have experienced painful sex. For me, this is like not as common for people. I believe it was linked to my birth control that I was taking, which can cause vaginal dryness. So if that is something, if you're on the pill or another kind of birth control and you're thinking, that's interesting, maybe I want to switch my birth control or figure out how to, best assess whether or not that could be the problem. Maybe that's something to bring up to your provider, but just know that you're not alone. Again, it is a common thing, but it isn't normal, and you deserve so much pleasure and so much excitement and so much just goodness when it comes to the sex that you have with yourself and or with a partner. So thanks so much for tuning in. You all rock my socks off, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Our creator, host, and executive producer is me, Danielle Bezalel, aka DB. Our co-producer and communications lead is Cathren Cohen. Our social media intern is Sarah Kelly. Our music theme is by Hook Sounds. Thank you so much to our featured guests, partners, and our listeners. Want to advertise with us? Email us at sexedwithdb@gmail.com. For more sex ed content, follow us on IG at sexedwithdbpodcast and on TikTok at sexedwithdb. See you next time.